Welcome back. Customs and Border Patrol sources telling Fox that nearly 120 Chinese nationals illegally crossed the San Diego border on Saturday, this weekend. Of the nearly 50,000 Chinese nationals that have entered America since October of last year, more than 30,000 of those crossings happened in California. Nearly 9,000 migrants from India and nearly 8,000 others, Turkish migrants, have crossed the San Diego border as well so far this year. Meanwhile, House Republicans are now demanding answers after two Jordanian nationals who were in the U.S. illegally attempted to breach the Quantico military base. House Judiciary Committee Chairman Jim Jordan sending a letter to the Department of Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas asking about the men's immigration status and processing history. Joining me now is Wisconsin Congressman Tom Tiffany. He's a member of the House Judiciary and Republican Study Committees. Congressman, thanks very much for being here. I want to get your take on the wide-open border. In terms of these two Jordanian nationals that tried to get into Quantico, do we know if they entered America through the wide-open border?
It certainly appears so, but that's why we want to get answers. I mean, terrorism, Maria, has always been the #1 concern. I mean, fentanyl and the human trafficking that's going on is just horrible for America and for the people that are trying to come into America from around the world. But terrorism has always been #1, that concern. And when we see the number of Chinese nationals, as well as these Jordanians that are coming into America and then testing our capabilities at these bases, it's clear they're up to something. And you can bet that something is not good.
Well, I want to ask you about the Chinese nationals in particular, because the Communist Party of China continues to undermine Americans over and over again, whether it be the surveillance balloon that they flew over the country, half the country for a week, trying to get information from our military installations and sending it back in real time. You mentioned the fentanyl, the underlying components made in China, not to mention intellectual property theft, COVID, the leak out of the Wuhan lab, a cover-up of COVID as well. What do you think these Chinese nationals are doing here? Are they up to no good? Because I know if you live in China, you can't just pick up and leave. You need approval. I spoke with your colleague, Guy Reschenthaler, in the last hour, and he had some thoughts on it. Here's what he said about the 50,000 Chinese nationals that have come into America just in the last year. Watch.
They could be here to perhaps when China tries to invade Taiwan, they could try to attack critical infrastructure. They could try to foment civil unrest leading up to the 2024 election. They could be trying to infiltrate some of our sectors. We don't know. But knowing China and knowing the controls they have and knowing their long-term goal of supplanting the United States as the global superpower, we have to assume that they're here for nefarious reasons.
I mean, this just started on Joe Biden's watch, Congressman, right? I mean, when I say 50,000 Chinese nationals in America in the last year, I mean since October. The fiscal year started in October. So it's only, what, a couple of months, six months or whatever. What do you think they're here for?
Oh, I think it's a different type of warfare, and I think Representative Reschenthaler hit the nail on the head. This is China seeking to undermine America. This is the decision that the American people are making on every front at this point, whether it's energy, foreign policy, whatever. Is China going to be the preeminent country in this world in the 21st century, or is America? And it's clear Joe Biden is ceding America's #1 position to China at this point.
Okay. I don't understand why there's absolutely no accountability for the wide-open border. Do your colleagues on the left recognize the national security threat this country faces as a result of this open border and the unknowns around it?
Well, take a look at the Hamas wing of the Democrat Party. I think you can answer the question, do they really care about a strong, powerful America? Are they truly loyal to America? We're seeing some that it appears other countries' interests are more important than America's. So I'm not saying all Democrats, but there's a growing number of them that are more concerned about looking out for the rest of the world rather than America.
Wow, that is just extraordinary, putting this country in such a vulnerable position. Now we see that House Republicans are reportedly not sure if they have the votes to pass a measure holding Attorney General Merrick Garland in contempt of Congress. That for refusing to turn over the Biden Robert Hur audio tapes. The Hill is reporting that at least 2 Republicans have privately said they will not vote for that measure, Congressman. Where does this stand?
I think you bring it to a vote because it's very clear that should be a contempt proceeding. I mean, I go back to, it was about 2 months ago in the Judiciary Committee, every single Democrat voted for a bill that we put forward. In fact, I authored it in regards to let's make sure law enforcement is taping and providing both video and audio of witnesses that are being interrogated. So why not? Why shouldn't this be the same? This would be consistent. What Special Prosecutor Hur heard from President Biden, should the American people know? What do they have to hide? Let the American people see it.
President Biden will reportedly break his silence now on former President Trump's hush money trial after the verdict is reached. The president wants to make an address from the White House. He claims that it's not political, so he'll do it from the White House. Politico says Biden's team is planning a wave of attacks against Trump if Trump is acquitted or if there is a hung jury, Congressman. Your thoughts?
A wave of attacks. You mean the continued attacks on this president, as we saw with Alvin Bragg? He still hasn't told the judge and the jury what exactly are the charges against President Trump. You see Fannie Willis's case in Atlanta falling apart. You see Jack Smith mishandling documents in a mishandling documents case down at Mar-a-Lago. It's just the continued attacks on President Trump. And I think we're seeing the same thing as 2016, Maria. They're actually strengthening Donald Trump at this point.
So you think he could still win even if he gets a guilty verdict?
I do at this point. The American people, as I cited, the Atlanta case, the Mar-a-Lago case, people are like, what's going on here? And
right.
Is this just lawfare? And it's becoming more clear that it's lawfare.
All right, Congressman, we'll be following all of that, of course, this week. Closing arguments beginning today. We appreciate your time this morning, Congressman. Thank you.